Go Dog Go Vape is going on now at Children's Theater Company. Get tickets today for this joyful bilingual musical where delightful dogs drive, swim, play baseball, and race to the big dog party. Get your tickets at childrenstheater.org.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ news and talk show on the radio in the United States. I'm your host, John Parker. Jim Pounds, my executive producer, is here in the studio with me.
Hey, y'all.
Also streaming on our YouTube channel right now. And if you like what we're doing, click that subscribe button and leave us a comment on how you're enjoying the show and also what you'd like to see us cover in 2026. All right, what is on the show today? A ProPublica investigation claims to have found the two Customs and Border Patrol agents who shot and killed Alex Pretti. We're going to take a look into that. A judge has blocked Kristi Noem's 7-day notice for members of Congress to inspect DHS facilities. A day after ICE killed Renee Nicole Good, they almost killed Alberto Castañeda Mondragón. We are going to look into that story. The DOJ has arrested 2 more people in connection with the protest at City's Church in St. Paul. Why is DOJ so obsessed with this church? We're going to take a look. Plus, a Fox News poll confirms what every Harris-Walz voter knew would happen if Trump won. We'll look at those numbers. And by the way, MAGA is coming for marriage equality. They've launched a new campaign called Greater Than, a response to equality. And their symbol is even the greater and symbol. And they already have 47 organizations who have signed up to join the campaign. So, yeah. Lying liars. All right, let's look at the ProPublica story first. So, yes.
Well, I was going to say we also have a ticket giveaway at the end of the show. So, don't forget about that. We're going to give away a couple of Blue Man Group tickets at the State Theater. So, we'll do that in the final segment. So, get your phone.
It is always nice, particularly in these times, to be able to give, something back to the community. Yeah. I know you may be thinking like, we need ICE out of Minnesota. Yes, we do.
Yes.
And also, it's just really nice to be able to give people free things. And so I love that we're able to give folks tickets at the end of the show to Blue Man. Where's Blue Man Group playing?
At the State Theater.
Oh, even better.
The beautiful State Theater.
Downtown Minneapolis. Yep. Okay, so ProPublica is claiming in a new article that they have released today or yesterday that the two federal immigration agents who killed Alex Pretti are Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa, Ochoa, and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. So this is them looking at records. Ochoa is 43, Gutierrez is 35. They were assigned to Operation Metro Surge, according to ProPublica's reporting. So they were brought here from down south.
They're from South Texas. Both of them live in South Texas.
Correct.
Or they used to. I don't know where they're going to flee to now, but they're from South Texas. My question is anybody else feeling sick at their stomach? It's somehow easier to tolerate that some jerk white guy is a jerk. My first thing is to always give people of color the benefit of the doubt. They've certainly been abused all their lives.
Jim, I don't know where you're headed with this, but I'm just going to head it off.
I was so surprised to find that both of them were Latinx. That surprised me.
Why?
I don't know.
There's clearly a culture of intimidation and violence that's being perpetrated in ICE.
They've been brainwashed.
And it wasn't just them that were there. There was 7 other guys or 5 other guys that were there.
I don't know how. I just wasn't. It surprised me. Maybe I'm the only one on the planet that was surprised, but I'm expressing it.
I do want to say that Republican Senator John Curtis of Utah wrote on X yesterday, "We must have a transparent, independent investigation into the Minnesota shooting, and those
Yes.
responsible, no matter their title,
Yes.
must be held accountable."
All three of them. Yep.
So Ochoa joined CPB, Customs and Border Patrol, in 2018. Gutierrez joined in 2014. And I think for me, this is sort of where we're trying to be told a narrative that newer recruits are the ones that are being more aggressive and violent, and it's their training or their lack of training, because they were supposed to use, or they used to get anyway, 5 months of training thereabouts. Now they get 47 days of training, which is a very specific number to sort of let them know you work for the president, the 47th president of the United States. But here we have, somebody who joined in 2014 and another person who joined in 2018.
These guys knew exactly what they were doing.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here if they're able to get an investigation. I do want to continue to report that Minnesota officials have very clearly said that the idea that federal officers are immune to state allegations and prosecutions is incorrect. JD Vance has tried pulling back on his claims that they have total, complete immunity, but nope. They don't.
Nope.
So
all three of them are going to go to prison. I
what
predict
happens.
And they won't live very long in prison when they get there.
I mean, Democrats, of course, it's just the Democrats, as far as I know right now, who are on the House Judiciary Committee. They have accused the DOJ of covering up evidence, both in Pretti and Renee Nicole Good's deaths. So they have sent a letter to her to say, hey, cough it up. Let's see what you're hiding over here. And I don't know what the statute of limitations are. If you do know, and you can cite your source and let us know and call in at 952-946-6205 of what the statute of limitations is for ICE, Customs, Border Patrol when they kill somebody in the line of duty. But if it's 5 years, these guys are not in the clear.
No.
They're not in the clear. In 2029, we will have control of the DOJ again, and there will be prosecutions. There will be prosecutions. And I am just saying this right now. If whoever the next person is who is running for president isn't on board with top-down prosecutions of every level from Trump on down, I'm sorry, you will not be getting our vote. This has been such a lawless administration, and we need to be able to say right here and now, it doesn't matter if you are a Democrat, an independent, a libertarian, a progressive, you will follow the laws, you will follow the Constitution, or we will prosecute you into oblivion.
Right. Well, I think they were even talking on Tom Hartman's show today about, when can he pardon and when can he no longer pardon once he's been impeached, and how to, because
he has the right to pardon all the way up until he's not president anymore, but he cannot pardon state.
Right. But they were talking about the recognition that he's already made some deals with people like Kash Patel, who's, was never competent for his job, that he's already got a deal with a house somewhere so that he can go and escape, to another country. So there's a couple of them already in the administration, according to this person calling Tom Hartman, that are planning they know this is going to go south, and they're already planning their escape.
Well, there's two things there. Three things. One, the president cannot pardon state level crimes.
Right. I got that.
Two, there is a constitutional question of if there can be a preemptive pardon.
Yeah, I don't think there can
So
or shouldn't be.
I don't know if Nixon had been officially charged and Ford came in there and said, you know what, I'm pardoning him of all crimes. So I think that is a question of whether you can preemptively, before there is even an investigation. With Nixon, there was already an investigation and it was going to go towards impeachment. if nothing has been leveled at Vance, at Patel, at Noem, can the president pardon them? And 3, that doesn't preclude The Hague.
Yes.
So if Patel wants to run off to some island somewhere and hide out, we can still, I don't know what the process is for that, but, we could refer him to the International Criminal Court, and they could put out a call for his arrest and a warrant and prosecute him that way. I think that absolutely the United States, we have gone so rogue that I do believe that we need a level of accountability, the same level that everybody else has, and say that we are joining the International Criminal Court and signing that treaty and saying, you know what? If the president of the United States is going to commit war crimes and every single other person is going to shoot boats in the Caribbean, you are now liable under international law for prosecution. The end.
I agree.
The end.
I agree.
And I think that goes for Biden, that goes for Obama, that goes for Clinton, that goes for Mr. Builds houses everywhere, Carter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a Democratic president or Republican president. If you violate international law, you need to be held accountable for that. And I think that this is a reckoning moment for the United States. Are we the rule of law, or are we the rule of law only when it's for people that aren't on our side?
Right.
And I think that,
well, that's the failure of our own Justice Department, but under both parties, frankly, the failure of justice to be applied to people that it should be applied to, regardless of how much money they have or how much influence they have. That's what's brought us to this. I think that we can't trust our own, certainly can't trust the Justice Department now, but even then, the fact that Trump wasn't already convicted when he was not president is a terrible failure of our own justice system, I think.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, obviously, still the Department of Homeland Security has blocked out local investigators from being able to gather all the evidence that the DHS has already gathered. They're not giving over to state investigators. So I don't think that will preclude the Hennepin County attorney, whether that continues to be Moriarty or whoever the next county attorney is, to prosecute and to pursue allegations of murder. We'll see what the state level does with BCA and the Attorney General's office, but obviously we here will be continuing to cover that story. We're going to fit in a break here. When we come back, a judge has shut down Kristi Noem, trying to put some sort of week-long notice for folks to get into DHS facilities if they are a member of Congress. We're going to talk more about that. And also another potential murder that ICE almost committed a day after the murder of Renee Nicole Good. You're listening to The Daily Show.
Uncover the rich history of Minnesota through Whoosh, a lively and deeply moving ghost tale. Solo artist Andrew Erskine Wheeler masterfully brings to life a range of characters, intertwining the rich history of St. Anthony Falls in the post-Civil War era with the story of its Irish heritage. This award-winning show weaves a hauntingly local and unforgettable ghost story through compelling song and storytelling. The History Theater's Whoosh plays January 29th through February 22nd. Find tickets at historytheater.com.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. February is the month for love, so when was the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it deserves? Maybe you've been procrastinating on the holiday post-mortem cleanup at your house. Are you worried if you got down on your hands and knees what you might see or smell? Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, but it's also the largest air filter in your home. And what's worse, you're going to be stuck inside breathing this nasty stuff for months. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call my friends at Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. A 4.9 rating on Google reviews and over 21,000 satisfied customers can't be wrong. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Hey, Francois, have you made any New Year's resolutions?
No.
Well, mine is to learn some French. Can you help me?
Bien sûr.
How do you say this? Can I buy you?
Est-ce que je peux t'acheter
Macaroons from Nicolette's.
des macarons de Nicolette?
Now, say it all at once.
Est-ce que je peux t'acheter des macarons de Nicolette?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have a box of raspberry rose, blueberry cheesecake, and chocolate.
Mais c'est quoi ça?
Thank you, Francois. You can order them online at nicoletsmacaroons.com or visit their store in Plymouth. Merci.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I've been telling you about my friends at Snap Construction, who are arguably the most well-reviewed exterior construction company in the metro. Don't just take my word for it. Take a look at all their reviews online. Winter is the most cost-effective time of the year to complete your construction project. A majority of Minnesotans choose to have their work completed on their home in the summer when they should be enjoying the weather. As a result, the demand for labor in the summer is much higher. The most cost-effective way to improve or restore your home is in the winter due to the lower demand. Right now, Snap Construction is offering an additional 30% off of labor to the AM 950 listeners on your next construction project between now and the end of February. Call 612-333-SNAP and mention AM 950 for an additional 30% off. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Don't wait to get a free estimate by calling 612-333-SNAP or find them online at snapconstruction.com. Financing options available.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour. I am John Parker, Jim Pounds, my executive producer here in the control room with me. So a major part of the ICE story and DHS story from the get-go has been, and what I mean by the get-go is like last year when the Trump administration took over, that they were blocking members of Congress from being able to go into the facilities. Now, there's like apparently a whole section of law, Section 527, that governs and says when a member of Congress shows up, they are a elected person. They have the power of Congress. They should be able to go in there and investigate what's going on. 3 members of Congress were blocked from doing so here at the Whipple building in St. Paul. This was a couple weeks ago now. Time is sort of meaningless. It was in January. It was Representatives Ilhan Omar, Representative Angie Craig, Representative Kelly Robinson, and they were denied at first, and then they were able to sort of get in there, do a quick like cursory glance, and then come out again, right? Well, then Kristi Noem said, no, there shall be a 7-day notice. Like Congress people just can't show up and say, I want to go and look inside what's happening here. Well, a judge has now said, no, that is incorrect. You cannot do that. There will not be a 7-day, not moratorium, but there can't be a 7-day notice. You can't require that of members of Congress. So that is good news for that.
Because the whole idea is to not have them have time to cover up whatever crap they're doing. Which you know they're doing by saying we need 7 days before we're ready for anyone on the outside to see how horrific this is. I mean, why else would you have that?
So, and Representative Kelly Morrison did get to go in to the Whipple building over the weekend. And I just want to read some quotes of what she said. She said, what I saw was not what I would expect in the United States of America. She said, as a doctor, I was especially concerned about the reports of inadequate medical care. So during my visit, I got confirmation that the facility has no specific medical policy and no medical care on site. There was not a nurse present. There are no beds, no real blankets, minimal food, extremely cold temperatures. People are in locked cells in leg shackles. That is Representative Kelly Morrison of Minnesota reporting what she saw in the Whipple building in St. Paul. I believe it's St. Paul, right? Or is it Minneapolis?
No, it's in Minneapolis. I think it sounds more like the Russian states of America. I think that's what maybe where the confusion is, right? This is what you would expect in Siberia.
This is something, though, that I want to start putting on our radars. It has not been something that has been sufficiently on my radar here to be covering both from an AM 950 perspective and at the Gailey Show, which is the conditions happening inside there, because we don't have as readily access as journalists to what's going on there. Clearly, members of Congress didn't have ready access to what's happening in these detention centers. But every time we get reporting and eyewitness accounts of what is happening inside there, it is a humanitarian crisis. And so that is something that, as we're seeing these calls from Senate Democrats saying, we're not going to fund ICE, we're not going to fund ICE. Yes, we want ICE out of Minnesota now. Absolutely. But we need to also start paying attention to the conditions that are happening in ICE detention centers, because we will get them out. They're going to be out of Minnesota. Whether they want to or not, we're kicking them out. The next step of this is, how do we rein in and get the situation in these detention centers sorted out? We can sort it out by just banning ICE and defunding it completely and getting rid of it. But we need to start paying attention and having more attention, I guess, to... Sorry, I see your hand raised, Jim, so go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking what these are concentration camps. So the first thing that raises the urgency is not calling them detention centers or the Whipple build. These are concentration camps, and they're intended to be cruel so that, again, if people are sent away, they have no intention of coming back to a place as horrific as this. And I think many people have died in these places. If I'm diabetic, if I was treated like that, I'd be dead in 12 hours. And I can't believe that there aren't a lot of diabetics and other people with diseases who need medical care who are dying, and they're simply not telling us about it. So the iceberg underneath the water is...
I think about that.
Terrible.
I live with epilepsy.
Yep.
And if they arrested me, and obviously, looking at me, they're not going to arrest me because I'm not, Latino, I'm not black and brown skin.
If you look at them the wrong way, they will.
They might see, an Armenian, a Middle Easterner.
Well,
but where I'm going with that is, if they hypothetically were to take me and spirit me away to Texas, where I don't have access to my medication, I could end up having a seizure, right? Like that's the situation that we're having here. And it is against international law not to deny medical care to people who are in detention, who are incarcerated. And when we say, I try to not engage in the hyperbole. So when people say concentration camps, that evokes a very specific World War II connotation. So I am a little nervous of using that particular language, because I don't want to equate to unlike things. But when you look inside these and you see kids inside the building that are behind wired fence,
it's in
like in the building, they're in these, like they created walls of chain link fence inside the buildings as well. And you see them like playing soccer or whatever. And you're like, are you kidding me right now?
I want to put this in context, though. What these people are guilty of is a misdemeanor, right? They have done what all of our relatives have done for hundreds of years.
So you're saying being in the country, yes, is a misdemeanor, but there are a lot of people who have no criminal record and they have legal papers. They have the green card. They have a legal documentation. So yes, if they are undocumented, it is only a misdemeanor, but a lot of people that are being detained are legally here.
Right. So this has been bungled because the dumb at the top set quotas, right? This is the party that hates quotas. This party loves quotas of a different kind. They set this artificial quota. So these stupid agents are picking up every person they can to try to make a phony, made-up number out of the brain of a lunatic, as opposed to what border control is supposed to be about is, here's a person who's, not supposed to be here and they've committed a crime. Okay, that's a specific thing. We need to deal with how to get that person out of here. That's what that's what law enforcement is, not running up and down every street and running into schools and grabbing people. That's ridiculous. And we all know it. I don't care what our politics are. We all know this is dead wrong. And I heard somebody the other day saying, oh, I like the way he's doing it. I just wish he wasn't so violent about it. We need some re-education on the fact that these people are doing the same thing our relatives did.
We are going to fit in a break here. You are listening to The Gailey Show. When we come back, we're going to talk about a case where the day after ICE agents shot and killed Renee Nicole Good, they almost killed another person in their in detention. And wait till you hear this story because it is shocking. You're listening to The Daily Show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
This is Santita Jackson. Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central, we'll bring you the best progressive talkers, thinkers, and doers on AM 950, Minnesota's progressive voice.
Celebrate Valentine's with the perfect musical. The Chameleon Theater Circle is proud to present I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. Bright, sexy, witty, and fun, this show will appeal to anyone who has ever fallen into the deep end of love and come up gasping for air. Shows run 3 weekends starting February 13th at Inver Hills Community College. Just Google Chameleon Theater to see times and reserve tickets. I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change with the Chameleon Theater Circle. Get your tickets now.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
Blue Man Group's North American Tour is coming to the State Theater February 13th through 15th. Dive into the thrilling Blue Man Group experience, a blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement. Blue Man Group creates a fun, disruptive, and out-of-the-ordinary atmosphere that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits for audiences of all ages. Tickets are on sale now at hennepinarts.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clearing skies with a low of 3 above, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 17. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has the best roast beef sandwiches in the Twin Cities, but don't miss out on the chicken, fish, brisket, Philly steak, and more. Maverick's is located in Roseville on Lexington Avenue, 1 mile south of Highway 36. Visit mavericksbeef.com. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show on AM 950 Radio, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and on WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk where facts matter. It is already 33 minutes after the hour. I'm John Parker in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. And this reporting came out over the weekend from the Associated Press, and I just... Okay, so Hennepin County Medical Center, is that the biggest, you think, Jim, in the Twin Cities?
Yeah.
It is probably...
Number of beds, you mean?
Yeah, like in terms of how big it is.
Yeah.
For folks who aren't in...
The U of M is big, and
it's a big one.
Yeah, one of the largest.
Okay, so ICE agents bring in a 31-year-old to Hennepin County Medical Center a day after Jonathan Ross shot and killed Renee Nicole Good. And they bring him in there and they say, oh, this individual was handcuffed. We apprehended him and he tried to run away and he, quote, purposefully ran headfirst into a brick wall, end quote, according to court documents. The nurses then begin to examine the individual, who is Alberto Castañeda Mondragón, and they're like, wait a minute, no, he has fractures and bleeding throughout his brain. Okay? He had bone fractures in his face and in his brain, as it turns out. And so this leads to a showdown between the ICE agents and the hospital staff to say, no, we need to treat him. What you're saying happened to him did not happen to him. You cannot handcuff him. They were trying to handcuff his ankles to the bed, and the hospital staff were like, no, that's not going to happen. Apparently, while they were treating him, Castañeda Mondragón didn't even know what year it was. Couldn't tell you how he got injured. Was exhibiting all of the signs and symptoms of someone with a traumatic brain injury. And so they had to eventually get a nursing assistant, sit with him in the room so that ICE agents would agree not to have him be handcuffed to the bed while he was being treated. So he entered into, according to his lawyers, he entered into the U.S. in 2022 with valid immigration documents. He founded a construction company called Castañeda Construction in St. Paul. According to AP, he appears to have no criminal record. His lawyers saying in a petition to get him released from ICE custody, quote, he was a brown-skinned Latino Spanish speaker at a location immigration agents arbitrarily decided to target. Four hours after his arrest, it was only 4 hours after they arrested him that they took him to the ER at HCMC. Swelling and bruising around his right eye. CT scan found 8 skull fractures, life-threatening hemorrhages, and at least 5 areas of his brain. At the ER they took him to. Then they transferred him. I'm sorry, getting my facts right. Took him to the ER. They found all of that, then transferred him over to HCMC. In a court filing on January 16th, they said he was minimally responsive and communicative. He was disoriented and heavily sedated due to the treatment of having a traumatic brain injury. AP interviewed Dr. Lindsay C. Thomas, who is a board-certified forensic pathologist working as a medical examiner in Minnesota, over 30 years of experience. And she told the AP, I am pretty sure a person could not get these kinds of extensive injuries from running into a wall. I almost think one doesn't have to be a physician to conclude that a person can't get skull fractures on both the right and left sides of their head and from front to back by running themselves into a wall.
And who were those agents that are going to prison? What are their names?
On Saturday, so this was the past Saturday when this reporting came out. A U.S. District Court judge said to ICE, release him immediately. So the Justice Department filed court documents saying that he is no longer in their custody. He has no family in Minnesota. Co-workers have taken him in, according to his brother, who doesn't live in Minnesota. He has significant, according to AP reporting, he has significant memory loss and a long recovery ahead. He still doesn't, according to his brother, who lives in Mexico, he still doesn't remember things that happened. That's a quote from his brother. I think he remembers 20% of the 100% that he had.
good Minnesota businessman now
4 hours.
obliterated by
4 hours. They did that. They did that to him
Republicans.
within 4 hours of detaining him. So another story that's happening today, this morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi the U.S. Department of Justice announced that they arrested 2 more people in connection with the protest at City's Church in St. Paul. Now that got me thinking, like, why are they so obsessed with City's Church? Like, why this church of all? Like, why are they? And the word that she used today in her post on X to announce it was riot. So now it wasn't just a protest and intimidation; it was a riot. Look at the video from Don Lemon, the journalist who was there, repeatedly saying that he is a journalist, repeatedly saying he is interviewing people for his documentary. It is not a riot, but now they're escalating. It's a riot, and I was like, what is the deal with this particular church? So apparently, it was founded by an individual named Joe Rigney. And Joe Rigney has very specific ties to Doug Wilson. Now, Doug Wilson is out of Idaho. He is a pastor. He has a networks of churches that one Pete Hegseth belongs to.
God.
And this church and its ideology believes that there should be Christian nationalism in the country, and it is the duty of these Christian nationalists to take over the country and to institute their version of biblical law in the United States. And it is so, like, Joe Rigney, it got to the point where he actually had to resign from the Bethlehem Seminary in Minneapolis because of what he was saying around Christian nationalism. And Bethlehem Seminary was like, no. In the board statement they put out after forcing him to resign, they said, quote, "The point is that Dr. Rigney's most recent emphasis on a hoped-for eventual Christianization of all society, including the civil government, has put him at odds with other leaders of the school who would warn against the use of civil authority to establish Christianity as an official religion." He was named the president, Rigney, of Bethlehem College and the seminary in 2020 and had to resign in the spring of 2023. Now, apparently works for Doug Wilson out there in Idaho.
In lunatic land.
And so I think that it's really important here to, and I was saying this in an interview that's going to come out on Wednesday, people want to make it sound, and they're trying to make it sound like this was just a simple group of churchgoers who were singing hymns and then had like a hot dish potluck after the service.
Yeah.
Right?
While they're plotting the destruction of the United States.
That is not this church. Now, I am saying that there is freedom of religion in this country. Like, you can believe that an octopus runs the planet if you want to, and that we're all, descended of seed pods of this magic octopus. That's fine if that is your religion. I'm not saying this as a basis, but like, this is a church that is actively engaged in the attempt to turn the United States into a Christian nationalist country.
So
that was
terrorism.
part of the reason why this church was targeted. It wasn't just because the pastor, David Easterwood, is a field director for ICE. That goes much deeper, okay? They believe that ICE is the army that they need. They call Jonathan Ross a hero.
What vile people.
Okay, that is the group that we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Right? One of the guys says that Jonathan Rice is an all-American hero.
Sad.
ICE, a quote from one of them, ICE might be one of the most critical government agencies in our nation right now. Okay. So I think it's really important that we're being very, very clear here, because I think for a lot of folks, they're like, should there have been a protest at the church? I don't know. And, I still have feelings about whether it should have been or should not have been. But this is, again, not a just run-of-the-mill church. This is a church with a very specific political agenda. This is a church that wants to turn the United States of America into a Christian nationalist country. Right. This is a church where one of the pastors is a field director for ICE because they believe ICE is their mechanism to do that. And when you look at this administration and how they have funded ICE in the billions and billions of dollars, it is one of the most funded, if not the most funded agencies in the country today.
Yep.
That is why the United States Department of Justice is going in so hard on this. But I also want to point out, as Tom Hartman told me this morning when I was sharing part of this story, it's not just Christian nationalism, it is white Christian nationalism. And it was an organization of Black folks and Black journalists that went into that church. So it's a double whammy for DOJ. Mm-hmm. It is a white Christian nationalist church ideology, political organization attempting to take control of the United States government. Mm-hmm. And it's white nationalists as well. They can't allow to have a coalition of Black leaders, activists, and journalists going in to their church.
No. And seeing their white hoods? No, of course not.
There's that story for you. So as you're thinking about it, again, I'm not saying that is justification for having a protest in their church. I'm just saying it is very, very important to know what is happening inside of that church. And then I'll just let you all search on the internet for Doug Wilson and what he's doing. Things like he doesn't think that women should have the right to vote. He thinks women are subservient to men. Mm-hmm. I mean, just get into Doug over there. It's some fun times. Yeah. Some fun times. Yeah, there's that. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to cover a couple of things here. There's a new Fox News poll. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know how I am about polling. Snapshots in time. But I just thought this was really interesting because I'm going to pair the Fox News poll with an election result from Texas yesterday or over the weekend that is very, very interesting when you look at these two in conjunction with each other. And we're also going to give away tickets to the Blue Man Group. And then we're going to talk about the fact that, oh, yes, MAGA is coming for marriage equality. They were lying all along, saying that they had no intent of doing that. So you are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and on WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk. You can keep the conversation going on our Blue Sky. We are at thegaileyshow.org on Blue Sky. Also can check out This Queer Book Saved My Life on Blue Sky, which we also host and executive produce at thisqueerbook.com on Blue Sky.
Get ready to zoom into a world full of color, música, and alegría at Children's Theater Company. Go Dog Go, Ve Pero Ve is a bilingual musical bursting with playful, high-speed energy as dogs drive, swim, and race to the big dog party. This joyful espectáculo blends English y Español with expressive physical storytelling. Go Dog Go is sure to have you laughing, moving, and howling with delight. On stage January 20th through February 22nd. Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
Hey, Chanhassen and Eden Prairie, it's Alex with Buzz Cut Mowing. Why wake up early, freeze, and shovel snow when I can handle it for you? I provide fast, reliable snow removal so your driveway and sidewalks stay clear, safe, and stress-free all winter long. Relax, enjoy your morning coffee, and let me do the heavy lifting. Visit buzzcutmowingmn.com today and make this winter easier, warmer, and worry-free with Buzz Cut Mowing, because nobody likes shoveling snow.
Hi, I'm Jay from Greenhouse Lawn and Shop. If your current salon experience feels rushed or impersonal, come feel the difference at Greenhouse. Our artists create personalized styles in a warm, inclusive space, and our shop is full of unique gifts from local women makers. See some of what's in store and book your appointment online at greenhousebrynmar.com. Better yet, stop by 403 Cedar Lake Road South in the quaint Bryn Mawr neighborhood of Minneapolis. Greenhouse, where every client feels cared for.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. February is the month for love, so when was the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it deserves? Maybe you've been procrastinating on the holiday post-mortem cleanup at your house. Are you worried if you got down on your hands and knees what you might see or smell? Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, but it's also the largest air filter in your home. And what's worse, you're going to be stuck inside breathing this nasty stuff for months. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call my friends at Zero Res right now, 9520-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. A 4.9 rating on Google reviews and over 21,000 satisfied customers can't be wrong. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Welcome back to The Gailey Show. I'm John Parker in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. We've got some tickets to give away to the Blue Man Group at the State Theater. You're going to call 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. Jim, tell us more.
When you call, you're going to have a choice between 2 dates. Either this Friday, the 13th. I'm sorry, that's next Friday, right? This is only the 2nd. Mm-hmm. So a week from Friday, the 13th at 7 o'clock, or Valentine's Day at 1 p.m., Saturday, February 14th. So the 13th or the 14th, an evening or a matinee. And you can get a pair of tickets to Blue Man Group. I saw it in Las Vegas. It's wild. It's not like anything you've seen before. I strongly encourage you to call. Patrick will get your information and we'll get it over to Hennep and Trust. And you will have something to talk about on the following Monday. I'll tell you that.
952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Very happy and pleased that we are able to give away something free and enjoyable to Minnesotans at this time. I see that line, I see the little number or the light that the phones are ringing.
You're seeing lights.
How many tickets do we have to give away?
We have a pair.
A pair.
We're going to give away another pair tomorrow.
Oh, okay. There you go. If you don't get it today, then tune back in tomorrow. All right. So a Fox News poll just came out a couple days ago. Let's just take a few. Inflation, right? Oh, inflation. Oh, we have to get rid of Biden and Harris because of inflation. Okay. So here we're a year in.
How's it going?
After he's inaugurated. Mm-hmm. Approval rating in this Fox News poll on inflation, 35%. On tariffs, approval rating, 37%. On the economy, only 40%. 62% disapprove of how he's handling healthcare. 55% disapprove in a Fox News poll of how he's handling immigration. 61% disapprove of how he's handling foreign policy.
Yeah, it's crap.
67% disapprove how he's handling Greenland. I mean, even on Iran, 57% of people say he is not doing a good job on Iran.
He's literally turning this from the pedophile presidency into the murder presidency. I mean, how do you get any worse than that? How can anybody? I can't believe there's 40%. I think the latest number I saw was 38% approval. How can 38% approve of this?
Well, let's compare. Now, again, I always have, polls, snapshot in time.
I know.
But here's some hard data for you. Jim, Tarrant County, Texas.
Yes.
What percentage do you think Trump won Tarrant County in 2024?
Oh, I would say 69%.
what the percentage that he won by?
Oh, won by
25%. He won by 17%.
Okay.
And yesterday, let's see here, on January 31st, so Saturday, or when was this? When's the 31st? I don't even know.
Saturday.
What day. Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
Taylor Remmett, a Democrat, won the Senate seat, the Texas Senate seat, won by 14 points.
Oh, this is a House seat.
No, a state Senate seat.
Oh.
A Democrat flipped a Republican seat, won by 13 points, 14 points, that Trump won by 17. Why are you making that face?
Well, I'm just saying that smells bad.
The Republican had raised $2.4 million, and the Democrat had raised less than $400,000.
Oh my!
Yeah, red alert! Red alert! Red alert! Everybody hates the Democrats, right? Oh wait!
Oh, now they hate. Yeah. Well,
we have constructive feedback for the Democrats. We always have constructive feedback for the Democratic Party, but they are killing it in elections, flipping a seat in Texas that went for Trump by 17 points in 2024, now went to the Democrats by 14 points. Over 55% of the people who voted were Republican.
But I think that you've said this before. One of the smartest things you've ever said is that people are really going to see how vile the Republicans truly are, because this guy has no mask. He has no muffler. He has the ugliness of this party, and that's why I left it many, many decades ago, is so vile. And now even Republicans aren't going to be able to stand the sight of it. So God forbid anyone gets hurt, and then certainly people have and lost their lives because of this. But if anybody doesn't see the Republicans for what they are during this, you're not paying attention. You're not awake.
Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, Patrick, did we give those tickets away?
Yes, we did. Julie, congratulations. You're going to the Saturday show.
Good job,
Fantastic.
Julie.
Congratulations, Julie. We will have another pair of tickets to the Blue Man Group at the State Theater to give away tomorrow.
Yes.
Great. All right. So to close out the show today, maybe we should have done the ticket giveaway and then closed after we did this story. But okay, we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So there is now a campaign called the Greater Than Campaign. 47 anti-queer organizations have already joined it, and the express purpose of this campaign is to overturn marriage equality in the United States. That is their sole purpose. And they say that that queer people's romantic desires does not trump the needs of children.
Oh,
here's that tired
procreation
argument
from the
all
16th
over
century.
again.
Wow. What do you know?
Yeah.
Isn't that sad? In a world so overpopulated,
So
it's not even funny.
the quote from their founder, Katie Faust, is 10 years of Obergefell have shown us loud and clear that children deserve better and that they are greater than adult desires. We will continue covering this story for you, as you can imagine, here on The Gailey Show. But that is all for us today. Up next on WCPT 820, Chicago is Democracy Now!, not Chicago Now. In Minneapolis, it is the Matt McNeil Show. Stay tuned after that for Native Roots Radio, and then tune in at 10 p.m. Central for Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. Step into the unknown. And until this time tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
We're going to keep it queer, Katie.